Hello everyone, welcome to Kansas Future. And today I have some news that will leave Chiefs Nation in disbelief. It's surprising, and you'll be on the edge of your seat. But first, hit the like button on this video because this bombshell I'm about to drop, no one saw it coming. Believe me, this is just the beginning of an incredible journey for the Chiefs this season. It seems the Kansas City Chiefs are ready to risk it all to get back to the top of the NFL. Amid expectations that more reinforcements may arrive before the trade deadline, the team just made a bold move in a trade with the Tennessee Titans. They acquired wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins. That's right. Hopkins, one of the most experienced and talented wide receivers in the league, is now part of the Chiefs roster, adding a new chapter to the journey toward the Super Bowl. But that's not all. Our team is also pursuing another talent, and you'll be surprised at who we have our eye on. Check it out. Now, the trade involved a fifth-round pick in the 2025 draft. But it doesn't end there. If Hopkins manages to participate in at least 60% of offensive snaps this season, and if the Chiefs reach the Super Bowl, this pick automatically becomes a fourth-rounder. This demonstrates the team's commitment and belief that Hopkins could be the missing piece to clinch their third Super Bowl title in history. With this move, the Kansas City Chiefs not only strengthen their offense, but set a clear goal to bring another victory to the pride of Kansas City. But the story doesn't stop there. If Hopkins' arrival has already excited the fans, an additional move by the Chiefs suggests that more surprises are on the way. Shortly after the trade was finalized, the team shook up the market with another move, restructuring right tackle Jawaan Taylor's contract, freeing up $5.3 million in cap space, a figure that apparently is no coincidence, as it points to the team gearing up to make room for more signings. Do the Chiefs still have another ace up their sleeve? Expectations are high, and the suspense is building. This is especially true because Kansas City's roster situation is far from ideal. Multiple injuries are threatening the team's depth, and a new signing could be crucial for stability throughout the season. This moment is delicate. Kansas City is starting to feel the impact of a depleted roster with numerous significant injuries on offense. Wide receiver Rashee Rice is out for the rest of the season after undergoing knee surgery for an injury he sustained against the Chargers in Week 4. Another wide receiver, Marquise Hollywood Brown, who had generated high expectations, also joined the long-term injury list after a shoulder injury suffered in the preseason opener. Not to mention Juju Smith-Schuster, who is officially out of the Chiefs' next game against the Raiders due to a tendon injury. Skyy Moore was recently placed on the injured reserve list, and starting running back Isaiah Pacheco, a key piece of the offense, will be sidelined for at least 6 to 8 weeks with a fibula fracture. The roster situation, therefore, is not ideal. Despite the team starting the season perfectly with 6 consecutive wins and no losses, maintaining their status as the only undefeated team in the league. This performance reflects the dedication and skill of Coach Andy Reid, who, even with a depleted roster, has managed to keep Kansas City at the top. But the question remains, how far can they go with so many absences? Can Kansas City sustain this wave of success, or will they need reinforcements to face the upcoming stages of the season? This is where fans start speculating, and even dreaming about new names. Journalist Matt Verderame from Sports Illustrated added more fuel to the fire, suggesting that the Chiefs may be eyeing defensive reinforcements. 2 names have gained traction in the background: defensive end Za'Darius Smith from the Browns and cornerback Marshawn Lattimore from the Saints. Both would be excellent additions to solidify the defense. With these adjustments, these players could fit within the team's budget, bringing more balance between offense and defense to help the Chiefs handle critical moments on the field. The behind-the-scenes movement suggests that the Kansas City Chiefs are far from settling, with each move appearing orchestrated to build a stronger and more competitive team. The arrival of Hopkins is already a significant achievement and sends a message to the league. Kansas City indeed aims to capture another Super Bowl title, but with adjusted salary cap space, the Chiefs have an opportunity to go further and perhaps surprise fans even more with another big addition to the roster. Head coach Andy Reid, as always, remains tight-lipped about what's next. In his latest press conference, he was cryptic when asked about a possible new signing, playfully dodging confirmation. "Only if you're willing to step in and take some reps," he joked with a smile. When asked about more moves in the market, Reid had already hinted earlier this month that the Chiefs were watching closely, noting that any potential signing would depend on the players' availability and their fit with the Chiefs' style of play. In my opinion, the Kansas City Chiefs are making a strategic move that goes beyond the current moment, clearly aiming to build a lasting dynasty in the NFL. The acquisition of DeAndre Hopkins is not just another addition. It's a strong response to the growing list of injuries and the challenges the team faces in maintaining competitiveness and reaching the Super Bowl. Hopkins brings experience, skill, and consistency. strengthening not only the offense, but also the morale of the entire roster. He offers a reliable option for Patrick Mahomes at a time when key wide receiver absences threaten the team's balance. This kind of midseason move shows the Chiefs' determination not to step back or settle, even with an undefeated start. Kansas City is truly ready to hold on to its place at the top. Furthermore, restructuring Jawan Taylor's contract to free up salary cap space suggests a possible future move. This maneuver opens the door for signing players like Zadarius Smith or Marshon Lattimore, both of whom could fill defensive gaps and bolster the team's resilience. This type of planning sets apart a team with a championship mindset. The Chiefs are preparing for obstacles that may arise along the way, something essential for any team with championship aspirations. Coach Andy Reid has always been cautious but strategic. He knows winning the Super Bowl requires more than skill on the field. It requires vision. The decision to bring in Hopkins and create more financial flexibility shows an intent to keep the team balanced and able to respond swiftly to setbacks. And with the potential for yet another signing, the Chiefs are positioning themselves almost perfectly for another title run. In summary, this move by the Chiefs not only excites fans, but also builds realistic expectations. They're not only on the right path, but have all the tools to reach the top once again. If the reinforcements truly come through and the team manages to minimize the impact of injuries, the chance of a Super Bowl win becomes even more tangible. In a year filled with unexpected challenges, the Chiefs are showing the blueprint to stay giants. So fans, what can we expect from this new phase of the Chiefs? In a season full of obstacles, the team is reinventing itself to stay in the race for that coveted third title. Hopkins' arrival adds a new layer of talent to the offense, and the possibility of more defensive reinforcements leaves fans in suspense. The trade deadline is on November 4th, and anything could happen until then. Will Kansas City make another impactful signing, or will Hopkins be the final piece of this puzzle? Time is ticking, but one thing is certain: the Chiefs are ready to give it their all. Every game will be a test, and each move in the market could shape the team's trajectory. Stay tuned, because here on the channel, we'll be covering every detail for you, Chiefs fans. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something right now. In the world of the Kansas City Chiefs, where echoes of victory resonate through every hallway and the In Vich We Trust anthem reverberates in every draft room, there's an undercurrent of tension. Fans clamor for greatness every offseason, but when the conversation shifts to free agency and trades, the excitement fizzles like an open soda left out too long. Sure, we all understand the constraints of the salary cap, especially when you're balancing the needs of the best quarterback in the game, the best tight end, and a defensive line as fierce as any in the league. But here's the kicker, folks. History is knocking on the Chiefs' door, and the stakes have never been higher. So, buckle up, because what's coming next could change everything for Kansas City. Let's break it down, shall we? The Kansas City Chiefs find themselves at a crossroads. A formidable roster, but shackled by the harsh realities of the salary cap. The excitement around the draft is palpable, with fans chanting the name of their beloved team like a sacred mantra. Yet when it comes to free agency, things get complicated. The Chiefs are stacked with talent: Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Chris Jones, the elite players that make up the backbone of a championship-caliber team. But with such riches come limitations. The front office, led by the savvy Brett Veach, understands the precarious balance of maintaining future cap health while trying to keep the competitive window open. Now, don't get it twisted. This isn't a sob story. This is the reality of managing a roster in today's NFL, where every dollar counts and every decision is magnified under the spotlight. The Chiefs aren't in a position to make reckless moves. They've secured their future with foundational stars. That's why you won't see them chasing after players like DeAndre Hopkins, no matter how tempting it may seem. Standing on the precipice of history, and yes, I said history, the Chiefs face a mountain of injuries. Yet here we are watching Mahomes thrive in a post-Tyreek Hill world, winning Super Bowls and MVPs. The man is a magician, navigating challenges with grace and grit. Just look at his last 6 games this season. The Chiefs are moving forward, and their trajectory is still upward despite all the noise around them. And let's talk about the wider NFL landscape, shall we? Just last week, we saw a frenzy of trades that sent shockwaves through the league. Davante Adams shipped from the Raiders to the Jets, and Amari Cooper finding a new home in Buffalo. What does this mean for the Chiefs? Well, if you ask me, it shows a desperation that hasn't penetrated the walls of Arrowhead. While these moves are headline-worthy, they're not the game changers they might seem. Adams is now with the Jets, a team still finding its identity, and Cooper is with the quarterback trying to find his groove. In contrast, Brett Veach made a strategic move, sending a 5th-round pick, one that could easily turn into a 4th-rounder if the Chiefs finish their season as expected. This isn't just a trade, it's a calculated risk that could pay dividends. DeAndre Hopkins may not be in his prime anymore, but but he's still putting up numbers. Last season, he logged over 700 yards in a league where production is king. The Chiefs just made a shrewd investment, and if we're ranking these moves, the Hopkins acquisition slots right between Cooper and Adams. Why? Because when you compare the stats, it's clear these receivers are on a similar wavelength, regardless of their team's situations. The Chiefs, with their history of success, secured the least expensive option for nearly equivalent production. It's a slap in the face to the rest of the league, which can try to mimic the Chiefs' moves, but simply can't outmaneuver them. Now, think for a moment about the emotional roller coaster that many Chiefs fans have been on in recent years. They've longed for that star receiver, the one who'd set the league on fire, and now they find themselves welcoming a seasoned veteran who may be past his prime, but still has plenty to offer. It's a strange new reality for a team that wears the crown. But as they say, if you want to stay at the top, you've got to keep moving, keep innovating, and keep building toward that next victory. The Chiefs are doing just that. With moves that may seem calculated and measured on the surface, they're positioning themselves for another shot at greatness. Will Hopkins be the final piece, or is there more to come? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, this team is ready to give it their all. Stay tuned, Chiefs fans, because this ride is far from over. Leave your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all the Chiefs news. See you in the next video.